All right, folks, this is a special emergency Friday update for you guys talking about the black swans that are occurring right now. Cyber attacks, systems going down. We're talking Swift. We're talking banks. We're talking CrowdStrike reporting outages. I got live reports in my Discord group, our chat discussing, folks trying to get money out of banks right now. It's not happening. So we're going to get right on into this update. Meanwhile, all this is taking place. What's crypto doing? Well, funny enough, Bitcoin and crypto is actually back up today, folks. Take a look at it. Bitcoin back up here. Let's take a look at it. Not that one, this one. 65,564 is where Bitcoin's trading at right now. It just spiked up to about 66,000 before coming back down here as I started this recording. But we're watching these markets do a little bit of recovery this morning for XRP back up to 56 cents. And we'll see which range XRP wants to settle down in right now. Or maybe we're just at that point in time where we're done settling down and it's time to take off. Now, in terms of turning off, shutting down, and the systems not working, well, we have this one, folks. Cybersecurity experts say this is set to be the biggest IT outage in history, as CrowdStrike shares plunged 20% in pre-market trading in New York, but CrowdStrike CEO stated that the outage was not caused by a cyber attack. We got an update from the CEO has announced that the issue has been identified, isolated, and a fix has been deployed. We're going to be watching this situation very, very closely. Once again, the biggest IT outage in history. And this isn't the only systems that are being affected. Now, diving a little bit deeper into CrowdStrike, what they do, the servers that they provide, there's some interesting things there. And there's quite a rabbit hole to go down. I want to share this one though, and I'm going to have to skip over some of these pieces that I can't speak on here on this platform, but check this out. Ariel says, people, listen to me. If you do not think that today is massive on a historical scale, let me inform you about CrowdStrike. The servers are low. I'm not even going to get into it. This is what I wanted to skip to right here. Who was found to be funneling money to Zelensky through FTX and the trading firm Alameda Research platform and donating to the Democrat Party? Now, we know all about that, right? As FTX went down and we saw the funds and the flows to politicians on both sides of the aisle, for that matter. Sam Bankman-Fried. Who were the people in Congress who were caught money laundering? I'm not even going to get into it. We're tiptoeing right now. But this is what I wanted to get to right here. There are many more, of course, that were named last year, but this is about CrowdStrike. Do you know that the bulk data collected on this outage is going to be given directly to Donald Trump? After Trump was formally given the nomination yesterday at the RNC, now he gets security briefings. The whole game is switched. People, this reaches the highest level of government. People, ask yourself why this is all coming out hours after Donald Trump took his nomination at the RNC. Did he tell you on July 10th that the final battle takes place in 7 days, right? Now look at all these events that have transpired since you went to sleep. This is all connected to the three-letter agencies I'm not going to name. Now you can understand the magnitude of what happened with the event much clearer. Because the deep state knew that once Donald Trump became the nominee, he would no longer wait to act, and now is doing officially public knowledge, and what he's going to share will officially become public knowledge, and can bring everything happening behind the scenes into the forefront for public discourse, because Joe Biden took this privilege away from him for 2 years ago. Now does the phrase panic in DC make more sense now? I can go on, but I have to start on some yard work. More info bombs coming later. And the bombs have been dropping. The booms have been coming in on a daily basis right now in a massive way. And you know what you're looking at right here? Mentioned, CrowdStrike, mentioned 19 times. I'm going to stop right there before I say too much. But folks, the biggest IT outage in history, the ripple effects, pun intended, and who's ready to save the day? Well, you already know that story. Like I said, this is not just them. This is not just CrowdStrike. Take a look at it. Swift website and system down. This application is temporarily offline for maintenance reasons, and I'm sure it's just a regular maintenance deal, right? How about this one from Echo? Everyone stay calm. The mainstream media doesn't want you to know that banks are having issues. They fear that if people start to figure this out, we got a problem on our hands, and we better know what we hold. We're looking at the down detector. Bank of America, Charles Schwab, Capital One, Chase, Citi. I'm going to read you off some comments here from my Discord group right now because we were talking about this just this very morning. I have friends right now trying to get cash out of the bank. They're putting limits on cash withdrawals. Chase Bank is saying that they're starting to have issues with their server. So we are verifying this in real time, boots on the ground, or in this case, boots in the bank, having problems. This is not good, right? And we talk in here about Ice 9, of course, for those of you guys that know Jim Rickards, we've talked about Ice 9. I have friends at Chase right now pulling cash, business accounts they're allowing up to $25,000. That won't last long. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so we're watching this continue right here, but this is what I want to share. We've gone to 3 separate Chase banks right now. All the teller systems are closed. They're saying that one bank has 2 teller computers operational. It's a 45-minute drive to that one branch. My wife has friends reporting the same thing at Wells Fargo. Some crazy stuff happening. We're going to continue to report on it. And this is, once again, we've been talking about how the imminent threats, the black swan events, there's dozens of scenarios. Is it a cyber attack? Is it not? CrowdStrike CEO says it's not a cyber attack. Once again, when the systems go down, our lives change. Our reality changes. And you better make sure that you're prepared. This is why it is so timely. The prepping call that I'm going to be having tomorrow with my Discord group in our private setting, we're going to sit down, have a little prepping call refresher, and we're going to be going over all of this in an unfiltered and uncensored way where I don't have to tiptoe around these issues, where I can actually just get straight to it and tell you how I really feel about what's going on, right? And how I'm really preparing, right? Once again, doesn't matter which black swan event occurs. We were a quarter inch away from President Trump. Right now, systems going down. How bad is it going to get? Who knows? Do you have a plan? Do you have utility with no counterparty risk? Now, from everything I understand, my affiliates are still shipping out the metals. If you're looking to get that system ain't down right now. So feel free to go on over to ZachRector.com. We can get your precious metals rolled over through the 401k retirement account or directly to your door. If you're looking to get tapped in with my private group and join us in the prepping call tomorrow, then go to my website, sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We would love to have you in there. And we want to make sure that everybody is prepared. Another thing that we've been preparing for, the correction in our broader stock market. How much have we erased? The Magnificent Seven has erased a combined 1.1 trillion of market cap over the last 5 days, the most since the 2022 bear market. This marks the 3rd largest drop in market cap on record. By comparison, the worst 5-day stretch occurred in May 2022 when the group lost a whopping 1.3 trillion. We're well on our way there. We're going to blow that out of the water. Over the last 5 days, Nvidia alone lost 418 billion in value and fell below 3 trillion market cap for the first time since June 24th. To put this into perspective, Nvidia has lost nearly double the market cap of the entire value of AMD's stock. Market volatility is back. Systems going down, stock market going down. What still works? What can I still transact with? That's right. What's still working? XRP Ledger? Absolutely. Absolutely. More on that here in just 1 second. What else is going down? The Biden campaign. Biden's family starts discussing Joe's exit plan from the race on, quote, his timing and with a carefully calculated plan in place. This is now being reported by NBC. We've heard from Obama, other party leaders. Everybody's now coming out, and I think that there's just now a common consensus that Joe Biden's not going to be running for this 2024 election, right? This is truly a historical moment that we're living through. And the panic, not just in DC, but the panic amongst Meta's Mark Zuckerberg. That's right, folks. This is what we call swinging in the wind. And when it's favorable to bash Trump, when it's favorable to censor Americans during voting, I'm going to be careful with my words here. When it's favorable to do so, then we do that. Now that Trump's going to be coming back, what's Mark Zuckerberg got to say now? Well, Mark Zuckerberg wants to call Donald Trump a badass. That's right, folks. This is Mark Zuckerberg talking about Donald Trump's immediate reaction after being shot was badass and inspiring, but he did not endorse the president. Take a listen in here. And this is what you call playing your cards, right? Trying to make sure that you got your bases covered just in case Donald Trump does make his return. Let's listen in.
I've done personally in the past. I've done some stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time. And that includes, not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, I mean, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. I mean, the historic events over the last, like over the weekend. And I mean, on a personal note, it's, I mean, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, I mean, it's, and I think, look, it's, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
And I didn't know that Mark Zuckerberg could feel emotions, right? I didn't even know if he was a real person or not. And I'm sending some jokes, but here's the deal. Mark Zuckerberg and everybody else starting to come around and just get it, right? This, like I said in last night's live show, was comparable for me to 9/11, when both sides of the aisle, politics aside, religion aside, who you love, what your worldview is, everything was aside, right? And we got behind protecting this country, saving this country, making this country an opportunity once again. And that's what I'm saying is not political. This is why folks like Mark Zuckerberg are starting to come on. His whole PR team, I like making fun of it because it's just hilarious to me. The way that they sent him out to do the UFC deal and he's hanging out with the UFC fighters and he looks so awkward and out of place. But this is all done by design. I mean, you see how he's dressed in this interview. He's like the cool kid now. He's got a little chain on, still wearing his t-shirt, of course. Got his little sneakers on, right? He's just this simple, regular, cool guy now, right? And now he's willing to admit that what Trump did after the enemy sent a shot at his life, responding by getting back up, pumping his fist, and it's undeniable. You can't say that it wasn't badass. Now, this is all coming together. Last night's live show, I titled it, Trump Secures the Crypto Vote. I played a couple of clips here recently of him talking about crypto, how he wants the United States to dominate. Well, who's perfectly positioned? Well, you already know the answer. This is from Monica Long, president of Ripple. Wondering how Ripple's recent product and acquisition announcements fit in with our vision of an internet of value? Well, here's your answer. We're building holistic digital asset infrastructure to bridge the gap between the on-chain and off-chain worlds of finance. Read more here. And what Ripple just shared here. Ripple's ambition is to be the #1 digital asset infrastructure provider for financial services by building the core components, on and off ramps, custody, compliance, and liquidity needed for enterprises to integrate blockchain into their businesses. Learn how our product strategy has evolved for this future. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to dive into that in a separate video. But guys, we have positioned ourselves so perfectly for this moment. The only thing that we're asking, the only thing that we're praying is that we're able to survive the chaos. We're able to survive the events that are set to unfold and transpire through this election cycle. You guys see how spicy it's getting out there, systems going down. This is why we prepare. This is why we've made the investments. This is why we've believed in Ripple and XRP despite all the FUD, despite all the misinformation. This is why we've continued to stack silver despite it being suppressed. We will not stop. We will not relent. And if you're in this fight with me, please make sure you've subscribed, hit that notification bell. And it really does help me when you smash it, when you tap it, when you do something with that thumbs up right before you share it out far and wide. Let's save our country and let's bring about this level playing field for humanity. It's not just America that I'm fighting for. It is for the good people of this planet that want life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. God bless you all. I'll see you in the next one. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.